Hey, this is WhyBeAre back with Polybridge 2, and today we're going to be starting off with level 1-14, Land Brace. When red joints aren't available, try bracing against something else. So this is one of those levels where you got to go up against the wall. Now, thankfully, I don't think we need to go grid free here. Yeah, it did not move there, so we can safely use the grid, and it'll be just as strong as if we didn't use the grid at all. So then we put a road, and I guess that's just a bridge that's already there? Yeah, why can't my bridges be that good and strong? Mine always fall apart in 2 seconds. Although, I do design them to do that. So in reality, they are working perfectly. We'll do something like that. And let's see, is that strong enough for this to hold up? Almost. That piece broke a little early, so I'll pull it a little to the right. Make the weight distributed over a larger piece. And excellent. It also broke at the end too, which is exactly what I want my bridges to do. Next up, we have 1-15 Hydraulic Management. Use the hydraulic controller to configure when hydraulics are activated. Oh, so you think I need hydraulics to do this level, huh? Well, joke's on you. I'm not going to use hydraulics if I don't have to. And I'm going to try really hard to not use them. So first off, I'm just making a very simple, very sturdy bridge that goes most of the way across. The last part, though, we're not going to have any regular road there. So let's see. Does that work? Yep, that is fine. And now, to make it where this car goes across this part, and then these cars don't, we're gonna do it a little bit unusual. We're gonna have this piece here, it's gonna fling about and hit the underside of the car and pop it up, hopefully. Now, fine-tuning this may or may not be difficult. It's not difficult, that was surprisingly easy. And just like that, we're done. No hydraulics or anything. Okay, well, not done. One small fix. Let's replace that with road, and then it'll be okay. I really love that, though. It just flips the car up just a little bit so it can make it across. And now, can you make it through the hole? Yes. And then how about car number 3? Can you do it too? I know the piece is swaying back and forth at different timing, which might mess things up. No, it didn't. It worked great. Hey, I got an achievement. Neat. Oh, that's for not using hydraulics when it told me to use hydraulics. Ha! So next up is 1-16 Large Bridge. Use your basic building skills to build a large bridge. Fine, I won't use my complex building skills then. This is just going to be a simple and boring bridge. Nothing more than that. We have a straight line. Bridges are straight lines. We have a support structure. Bridges need support structures. Then we need another support structure so we can get closer to the edge of the bridge. And then a ton of ropes. We're just going to use a ton of ropes on this thing. And it's going to be a rope bridge, basically. So that might be the center. It might be one more. The easiest way to tell is to copy, flip it around, and then paste it. Not there. Going to put it here. So it's not quite the center. We'll make sure everything is centered up perfectly. And then, just like that, we made a boring bridge. Yay. Come on, that's boring. Like, I already got this structure here where it's too late to do anything really weird and crazy. So let's just make it where it at least falls apart at the end. We're gonna have a little trigger wire that goes from the center of the bridge out way past the edge, like right here. And then we'll use a piece of road that connects it to the top steel structure. And now it's basically a trigger. When you pull it, it pops the whole bridge. And the bus is gonna pull it perfectly. The whole bridge is blew up, and now we can go to the next level. Oh, we've completed Pine Mountains. Excellent. So now we're going to do 2-01 Unity. And once again, they have given me springs. Last time they gave me springs, I made a bridge that looked like this, and it worked great. Although at this point, we've literally just made a wall. And technically, it wasn't actually a bridge, it was a ramp. But the idea still stands. We're going to build something that goes completely vertical because I think that's fun and interesting to do. So grab a spring and we'll make it nice and long as it can go. And then we're just gonna add tons of metal down here to make it nice and strong. Because this thing's gonna be bouncing all over the place, it needs quite a bit of strength to it to make sure it doesn't break apart. It'll make the spring really compressed so it'll open up, and then the tow truck should be able to get through. And then we'll worry about the other car afterwards. Can the tow truck make it up? Yes, it can. It goes across, clears it perfectly. Now we just need something over here because it fell right in the water. So I'll make it nice and simple over here. We're gonna make the most basic of bridges because I think I can afford it. And I'm not really worried about this bridge at the moment. I'm worried about what happens in the first section. If the first section is solid, then we'll make this section more interesting afterwards. But the only way to test the first section is if you complete the second section as well. So here we go, tow truck going across. How does it work? It works great there, and then is it strong enough? I think it will be. A little bit of a doubt. It got into the high 80s, but it made it. So now, old car, can you do it? Not quite, but it is so close. I'm thinking like just maybe a little bit more on the springiness of the bridge so it won't collapse as hard when it gets impacted. So I know it's more springiness, which means decrease the number. Yeah, it's all weird like that because the number is how compressed it is. If it's less compressed at the start, then it's more springy. My terminology is all backwards here, but I think this will work. Still broke, but it's holding together. Just hold together for a little bit, and it made it all the way to the finish. But you know what? We can do better. I want to deliver car B before car A. So we have to get car B in front of the tow truck, and then the tow truck can push the car all the way to the finish line. I don't know exactly how this is gonna work, but I do know it sounds really fun, doesn't it? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little piece behind the car that'll push it along to get it off of the top section in front of the tow truck. We're also gonna reinforce this thing because it has to now support the weight of 2 vehicles at once. That should be good. Does it work? Oh, that works perfectly. Oh, although we do get a little bit stuck right there. We can do a real easy fix for that. Let's grab a piece of road and give it a little shape like that. Like just something that gives it a little bump. That'll make it where it's a smoother transition and it's able to go all the way across, except the second bridge is now giving me problems. I'm just gonna reinforce the top section with some steel real quickly and let's see, is that good enough? And honestly, it better be because we have like no money left to do anything else. It did work. That was beautiful. That was so good. I want to see it in regular speed from the fancy camera angle so you can truly admire how great this bridge is. It is beautiful. I would say this is the best bridge I've made so far. Who else out there is making a bridge where you deliver car B before car A? Look at that. Boom. Car B, car A. In fact, I don't even know if the game will accept that. It does. Thank goodness. But that is awesome. It's stupid and awesome. You can't make a more interesting bridge than that. So anyways, on to the next level, which is 2-02 Long Drawbridge. And since this level is called Long Drawbridge, we're going to build a not drawbridge. I don't want to listen to them. I'm tired of listening to them. When I listen to them, I build boring bridges. So instead, we're going to do something that's kind of like a thrust bridge, I guess you could say. So we're elevating a bit so we don't have to worry about most of the boat. And all we need to worry about is just this tiny top section of the boat. The rest of it should be cleared perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and get the lower structural supports for this thing set up. Gonna keep it nice and simple. Triangle power as usual. And this is actually kind of a cool design. It's double triangles on both sides and that won't reach. So let's just be lazy. We'll go boom, steel, and we got the steel out. So how about another steel? And then over on this center section, this is where things are gonna get a little bit more messy. I'm thinking you gotta have something that's able to support a lot of weight, but also avoid hitting the middle part of the boat. So I'm really making sure I kind of have just a weird shape here that allows me to have some flexibility in how I want to design it. So like with this, I can adjust it all I want. I can move that piece there. I can move this here. You know, I got adjustability and flexibility just in case things won't work out. So now we'll go ahead and clone this to the other side so it's perfectly symmetrical. We'll add one extra support in the center. And I just want to see, is this strong enough for the fire truck to cross it? Answer to that is yeah, without much concern at all. That was easy. And then of course here comes the boat. He does not care about this bridge being here. He's just gonna plow right through it, completely destroying it. So let's make it where that doesn't happen. And I said I wanted to make like a thrust bridge or a retractable sliding bridge kind of bridge. So we're gonna make a hydraulic that just goes straight across like that and then straight across like that. That's how it's gonna hydraulic, hopefully. It looks really weird because it is kind of weird. And let's just see what that does to give us an idea of if this will actually work at all. Because this is really sketchy in terms of if it'll actually work. Let's see, does that do any good? Oh, kind of. Okay, I see. So what happens is when you don't have this center connecting piece, you only have this one piece connecting the two sides together, and it's like a piece of rope holding it together. It wobbles about. We need extra support on both sides, so we'll just use a piece of rope that goes here to here, and now it's a triangular connection instead of like a single wobbly one, and the triangularness of it should make it stronger. Should. Let's see if it actually works. Come on. Beautiful. And it is kind of like a sliding bridge until it goes way vertical like that. Here, let's try this. The way I saw these, if I swip these two pieces around, that changes the pieces that connect, and it'll give more of a sliding motion than a flipping up drawbridge motion, right? Or it might just break completely, I don't know. There we go. That looks like a sliding bridge or a thrust bridge or a retractable bridge, whatever you want to call it, until it got way too retracted. And does that work? Yeah, that actually works fine. That works beautifully. Here's a fun idea, actually, though. Let's make the hole as small as it can possibly be. So we'll contract like 5% or something. Like, it's just barely gonna move, and there's literally gonna be a hole in the bridge that is perfectly shaped for the boat to go through. Like, it's designed just for this boat and this boat only. It's Panama Canal to the extreme in terms of tightness here. Oh, look at this. Just the tiniest little piece open. Will it fit? Come on. Come on. Oh, it fits. It fits through. And then it connects back up perfectly, right? I didn't even think about this. It should. Yeah. That is an amazing thrust bridge. Perfectly designed for just this level. Oh, you just hit the fire truck, man. Not cool. So now we're going to go to 2-03, which is Lowrider. Okay, on this level, we have a limousine and a boat. And they're going to come at the exact same time, so we don't have any hydraulics to adjust the height of the bridge. So I'm assuming what they would want me to do is I would go up and over the boat, back down, collect the star, and then get to the finish line. That is not what I'm going to do, though. I am instead going to build a drawbridge. Yes, a drawbridge with 0 hydraulics. How in the world is that going to work? Well, first we have a road that comes straight out. Then we're going to have a road that goes straight up. The road that's going straight up is going to basically be the drawbridge. So the limousine will drive on the road, it'll bump the drawbridge, and that'll lower it down, and then it can drive across. That's the plan, at least. There is one major concern I have, though, that might completely ruin this plan. That is, when does the boat cross the path of the limousine? If they cross the path at the exact same time, there's no way this will work. I'll have to go up and over the boat. If they cross at different times, ideally the limousine would be after the boat. This will work great. So we're gonna just do a real quick test and see what the timing looks like. That should be strong enough to hold this thing up. And there goes the boat. The boat is through, and there's the limousine. Excellent. The timing is different, so we should be able to actually make this if we have enough money. This is way more complicated than this needs to actually be, but I think it'll be really awesome if we can build it. And we should have actually made this thing start sloping upwards, because there is quite a bit of a height difference here. So we want to make sure when this thing opens up, it opens up to about that height. It has a nice smooth transition on the road. And I see a rock down here. We're going to try to use that rock as a support, so I'm using steel there. We can use wood here. And you know what? If we have a support spot here, we should definitely make use of it and use more steel there. And use a lot of steel there too, because that's also hitting a support spot. Use steel there just because I'm lazy. Here though, just wood is all we need, because this is just holding up a single piece of road. That's it. It doesn't need anything fancy. But I am concerned is, does that actually clear the boat? So let's just do a quick little test. And it will clear the boat, just barely. Okay, so now we need to connect these two sections together. So we need to get vertical real fast with this side. So make one big fat steel that goes up and then across. And then over here we can just use some wood to connect it together. If we connect it to 2 spots, it should be nice and sturdy. So let's just do a real quick test and see, does that hold up? Yeah, that looks like it's gonna work. The boat clears it just fine. Except I saw it breaking at the end. It does need more strength at the upper section. So I'm just gonna real quickly throw a bunch of steel up here to give it a second layer of height, which should give it the extra strength we need. We'll use wood again on this side, just kind of keep using wood all over there. And then steel goes across about halfway there, and then bring it down a little. Just make some triangles over here. Triangles, triangles, triangles. Now it should be nice and strong, and the limousine will get stuck on the edge, but I don't think it'll collapse. Here comes the limousine. It did not collapse. It is stronger now. Cool. So next we need to stabilize the drawbridge because it's tipping over because it's lopsided. So I'm going to add some extra weight on this side to try to make the weight on the left and right side of the drawbridge equal. And then I'm also add a rope over here. So that way when it opens up, it doesn't just fall completely. It'll be caught by the rope. So here, let's do a little test here. That still fell prematurely. We need something else to make it stop doing that. So more ropes, I guess? Like, I don't really know what else we can do. I'm gonna just add a rope that connects to the other side as well. And then that rope will hopefully make it where it just stays there. Nope, that made it worse. Ha! You know, okay, how about this? We'll add some wood up here, and that's gonna be like a strong piece. That'll actually hold it together until a limousine comes around. Nope, that didn't work. More wood, more strong pieces. This isn't working at all, is it? This is a wacky idea I had. I don't even know if this is possible, to be honest with you guys. But it looks so cool, doesn't it? Like it has to be possible. So kind of like that. It's holding its spot. Then the limo comes, it bumps it. Ooh, okay, I see. So we need to have like breakaway pieces that break away to allow the bridge to kind of lower because those ones are just holding in place. How in the world do we do that? We'll make it a little bit longer maybe. And then it'll have a different leverage point. So how about that? Like at this point, I am a little bit stumped on exactly how this is gonna work, but I have a general idea of what I expect to happen. So we need this to be longer. So that way it's falling faster and then it'll actually break away as I expect it to. So break, break, break. Okay, there's not enough breakaway pieces, but it actually broke this time. So we are moving in a positive direction. So we'll just add yet another breakaway piece to this bridge, trying to do like the same amount of distance between the first two because that seems like it was working swell. So here we go. Break, 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 and there's just still too much momentum there. So we'll add a rope. We'll add another rope. We'll add it like right here. I'm just adding pieces all over the place to try to kind of make this thing stabilize and stop breaking apart. This time I'm gonna really take a close look at this thing, see how is it breaking, okay? So we have the expected breaks coming up, so break, and then break, break. Those are the expected breaks, that's what it's supposed to do. And then, you know what? I think this rope is causing it to break. I know that sounds really weird, but it's breaking way on the left side. So I think it's that rope that was actually causing it. So here we go. We're gonna watch it again in slow motion because this one really requires some engineering here. Brakes, brakes, brakes. How's the left side holding up? It's not at all. Wait, it is holding up. It broke, but it's holding up. This thing is just shattering, but somehow the pieces are holding together and the drawbridge worked. Oh, that is awesome. Okay, here's the bad news though. Making something this stupid and complex blew almost all of my budget. We now have only, well, 13,000-ish to get the star and get to the other end. I think we can do it, but it's gonna be pretty tight here. Is that low enough for the star? Yes. We just need to touch it, so that should be low enough for the star. That's good. And then we actually have to go up quite a bit, so we'll start raising it here. And then for the limousine, we probably want to be level with the area we're entering, so we'll do it like that. And then how much money we got? About $7,000. We really can't afford to use any steel here. We just got to use a lot of wood. Wood is going to be key to making this work. Can we even do something like this, or we run out of money? Let's find out. Actually, since this is a slanted bridge, I should have made the length of those a little bit different, but the first few will be fine. And then these last couple are the ones that just get a little bit messed up, so we'll adjust that to be centered up because centered up should be stronger. And then they are done, but we are over budget. And we're not actually even done, but we're over budget. I just want to make sure it's strong enough, and I want to get the car across. You know, proof of concept. Once we prove it works, then we'll worry about making it a little bit cheaper. So here we go. Full speed. Limousine coming in hot. Break bridges. Bridges holding up just enough. I love how one of them just shoots across the way as it breaks it apart. And then this should be the easy part. Not a strange bridge at all. It goes easily through that, and it will make it to the flag. I thought I might get stuck for a second. So now all we need to do is save some money, and I see one way to save money really easily. We make the reinforced road to be just a regular road, and if the bridge still holds up, we are under budget and good to go. We're coming along. Here's the limo. And then does this bridge hold up? No, it does not. But we have money we can use to reinforce it and make it stronger. So it seems like these first sections here, they might need to be reinforced. And then maybe like the last section too. But we leave the middle regular. We have literally $60-ish to fix this if anything else goes wrong, which means we basically have nothing as far as I'm concerned. This better work. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, so the bridge that's giving me trouble is not the one we expected now, is it? Here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to make this side out of some wood so we'll have a little bit more money. And then we're going to make the connecting piece over here out of steel. And then we'll go ahead and add some support from down below over here. And then we can remove this piece because it's doing basically nothing. And now we're actually cheaper than we were before, but I think it'll be stronger. So here comes the limo of destruction, destroying a bridge. I love that piece that just shoots across. It's the best. Every time I see it, I gotta mention it, I feel like. Oh, that bridge is so much stronger. That was excellent. Okay, you know what? That's so good. I want to see it from start to finish. Like, I want to see the limo plow through the drawbridge and then make its way across like all in one little take here. Here we go. Here comes the limo. Bop, bop, bop. Ooh, that is beautiful. The piece shoots off. He goes across, and that's going to do it for this video, actually, guys. You'll get one more replay with some slow-mo, but until next time, this has been WhyBeAre, and remember, if you like or dislike this video, I will know. I can tell by watching the drawbridge explode, so do the right thing, and I'll see you next time. Here's a fun little fact for you guys. So the previous one where I did not use a drawbridge when it told me to, originally I did until I decided I wanted to use a drawbridge on this one. So when I redesigned this bridge to have a drawbridge, I also had to redesign the previous one to not use a drawbridge because I feel like that kind of variety is important to make the video as interesting as possible. You know me, I like my fun facts at the end of videos now. And I'm going to let this play out a little bit longer than I normally would just because I am so amused watching it explode. But now that it's done exploding, the video is also done.